She didn't cry when I found out. She didn't explain. She just stood there, still, silent like guilt had glued her to the floor. She had slept with him, lied about it, then looked me in the eyes and said, "It didn't mean anything." And that's when I knew, if something that meaningless could destroy everything we built, maybe I meant nothing too. We were together for 4 years. Not high school love. Not reckless passion real love. Groceries on Sundays. Holding hands during funerals. Life together. But looking back, I can't pinpoint the moment things shifted. That's the thing about betrayal. It doesn't always come like a storm. Sometimes it creeps in like fog quiet, disguised. By the time you see it, you're already lost. She started texting late at nights, said it was work. Stopped kissing me when she got home, said she was tired. Started dressing different, smiling more at her phone than at me. Said I was imagining things. I wanted to believe her. God, I wanted. 2, because believing her meant I didn't have to start over, didn't have to feel like a fool. But I wasn't imagining it. The truth always finds its way in, one way or another. I found out on a random Tuesday. She left her phone unlocked. I wasn't even trying to check, just went to set an alarm for her, and there it was. A thread of messages that hit harder than any punch I've ever taken. Last night was perfect. I can't stop thinking about you. I wish I could fall asleep in your arms again. He called her baby. She called him mine. I didn't break her phone, didn't scream, didn't wake her up. I just stared at the screen like it was written in a language I never wanted to learn. Then I stood up, got dressed, packed a bag, and walked out. No note, no confrontation, just silence. Made her choice, so I made mine. The first night I slept on my friend James' couch, told him everything. He didn't say much, just nodded and handed me a beer. Sometimes that's all you need. But that night I cried. Not because I missed her, but because I didn't recognize the man I'd become. Tired, suspicious, small. I felt humiliated, like I wasn't enough. Like I was the punchline to a joke I didn't get to hear. People say betrayal turns you bitter. For me, it turned me numb. I went to work. I smiled when I had to, but I was hollow. I tried dating again months later, nice women, kind hearts. But every time someone got close, I flinched. Because trust once broken doesn't just grow back. It scars. And scars don't forget. Then 1 year later, she showed up. I had just gotten back from work, sweaty dust on my jeans, paint on my shirt. I was unlocking my door when I heard a car pull up behind me. I turned, and there she was. The woman who broke me. It's the woman I once would have taken a bullet for. She stepped out of the car, slowly, hair longer, eyes puffy, face pale. "Hi," she whispered. "Can we talk?" I didn't say a word, didn't move, just stared. Because how do you speak to the ghost of the person who shattered you? She held a piece of paper in her hand, a letter crumpled at the edges, like it had been carried around too long without the courage to deliver it. "I wrote this months ago," she said, tears already forming. I didn't know how to face you." She looked smaller, not physically, emotionally. It's like someone who hadn't slept right in weeks. Like regret had been eating her alive. I let her inside, not because I forgave her, but because I wanted to hear the words she had swallowed for too long. She sat down on the same couch I had once imagined raising a family on, the couch that used to be ours, and she cried. Not the manipulative kind, the kind that hurts to watch. "He didn't love me," she said. It was exciting at first, but it didn't last. And when it ended, I realized what I lost. I didn't say anything, because what do you say to that? There's no apology big enough to rebuild what betrayal burned down. "I don't expect you to take me back," she said, voice cracking. "I just needed to say I'm sorry. I was selfish. I broke something that was real, and I regret it every single day." She looked up at me, waiting. And for a second, a very small second, I saw the woman I used to love. The woman who once fell asleep on my chest after long shifts. The woman I believed I'd grow old with. But that second passed. Because I remembered. I didn't leave because I stopped loving her. I left because she did. So I stood there, looked her in the eyes, and said, "I spent a year putting myself back together, learning how to trust again. Learning how to live without wondering if I was being lied to. You don't get to come back after the fire and expect the ashes to rebuild themselves. She nodded, tears streaming. No argument, just pain. Real pain. But it wasn't mine anymore. She left quietly just like I had a year ago. No door slammed. No promises. Just silence. And when the door shut behind her, I didn't cry. I didn't smile. I just stood there, still, solid. Because for the first time in a long time, I felt something real. Peace. Outro grounded. Honest. I didn't take her back. Not because I didn't love her once, but because I finally loved myself more. If you've ever walked away from someone who chose someone else and then came back like nothing, not weak for missing them, but you're powerful for not letting them break you twice. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is close the door that once broke you and never open it.